After being allowed to stay in the stock exchange for the winter, the homeless squatters and Manchester Angels activists ejected a group from the building last Wednesday. Since then, episodes of violence have been reported. The squatters say the evicted group was high on drugs, violent, and persistent in their attacks on the building since their lockout. Last night, the squatters called the police to stop a group of 15 people who were allegedly brandishing road signs as weapons. But by the time the police arrived, there was nobody to stop. The activists claim to be working flat out to make the building safe, but some squatters have already left because they felt threatened.
When the building came up, and I moved into that until Thursday just gone when I left because my missus didn't feel safe in the building. On Monday, Gary Neville's workforce and stuff was still going in the building. They wanted to seal off the top floors and things like that because there were people coming in damaging things purposely, just being violent to other people, stealing off other people. And with the building being so big, there was places for people to hide and things like that, and also some floors weren't as safe as the bottom two, so they wanted to seal off them floors. So we tried getting everyone out. That didn't work effectively to do that, so we moved people down to the ground floor, and then the people that were being violent were ejected because they were all together anyway, so it was easy to do. By the time we secured the floors, the fire brigade came in and they wanted checks done and things put in place before other people come back in. So the people outside were accusing us of just not letting homeless people in, and a lot of the homeless believed that just because they were homeless they had a right to be in that building, not knowing the work that we was putting into it to make it safe for them, also not knowing that some of the homeless had been ejected for the behaviour.
Those camping on Market Street have a very different view. None of them has been arrested by the police in connection to the alleged attacks. We caught them shouting at the building in vain. They were angry.
I know the homeless do not want him. That's the way he's treating them. They don't want him, Manchester. They kicked him out on the streets in the rain with no blankets, no tents and nowhere to stay. And it rained for the full night into the morning. So a lot of the lads got very wet that night, very cold, and they've got a lot of resentment now because they've finally been offered somewhere safe and warm and secure, and one person took it away from them.
There were reports of violence last night at the building in Norfolk Street. Were you involved?
No, if there was any violence, then the police would have been arrested, the police would have been come to Market Street for us. But if you ask the police if there's any reports to Market Street, there've been no reports to Market Street since we've been here. We've been very good, we're very nice people over there, after there's a home.
They're saying that there was violence and there was substance abuse in there, and that's why they asked people to leave.
Substance abuse, well, if you want to go in the building right now, there's substance abuse going on right now. The activists can drink, they can smoke weed, but it's not okay if people have other drugs.
We talked to a number of people around the building. We met some elderly homeless people who said they had been asking for shelter in the exchange every day for the past week, but they were turned down because they didn't meet the admission criteria. The squatter's new press officer wouldn't say when the stock exchange would open. He said it would fall upon a group of professionals to assess the requests of admission once the building is deemed safe. The capacity of the stock exchange, he said, should be around 30 to 40 people at a time. If all that is true, the stock exchange occupation is now a carefully calibrated and professionally managed operation, and hardly the instant relief for the hundreds out on the streets. Adam Farkas, that's Manchester.